Hi, this is Micah from Music Mastery, and today we're going to be talking about taking care of your clarinet. So let's say you've just finished a practice session, and now we're going to take the instrument apart. So the first thing you're going to do is take off your reed, wipe off the excess moisture with your fingers, and be careful just not to break it as you do this. Reeds are very brittle, so you want to take good care of them. And then you'll stick it back in your reed case, and that's where it will be kept. Then after that, take off your ligature and take off your mouthpiece as well. And so with a mouthpiece, you never want to swab through your mouthpiece by dropping the weight first into the mouthpiece. That will damage the inside of it after a little while. And so instead you're going to take the end of your swab and just put it through the cork side as far as it will go. And then do the same thing from the other side of the mouthpiece, part that you blow into. And get as much of the moisture as you can, just gently rubbing it with the soft part of the swab. Once you've done that, put the ligature back on. And then put your mouthpiece cap on the mouthpiece. And this is how you should always store your mouthpiece. Don't store it without the mouthpiece cap. You don't want it to get damaged or chipped. And then now you have the rest of your clarinet without the mouthpiece on it, and you'll just take the swab and drop the weighted end through the bell and pull it through a couple times. Be careful not to throw the swab into your clarinet balled up. Just make sure it's out like this, because it can get stuck on a little post in the clarinet. And that can be a bear to get out. Okay, so now we swab through a couple times. And then take another piece of cloth. This doesn't have to be swab material, it can just be, mine is an old cut up t-shirt. And you're just going to use that to clear the water out of the sockets and off the tenons. And we want to use a separate piece of cloth from our swab because this will get cork grease on it. And we don't want that going inside our clarinet on our swab. And then these are called tenons, parts that go into the sockets, and just get the water off that as well. And finally, as you're taking the instrument apart, be careful to grip it in such a way that you're not bending keys. So you don't want to hold along these long keys here, but I like to hold my clarinet up here with my thumb and my first finger so that I'm not putting a lot of pressure on any of the keys. And then if you have enough cork grease on the instrument, on your corks, you can just gently twist the sections apart, okay? So I dry all these off, stick them back in the case, and then the same thing down here, hold here with your hand as opposed to putting pressure with your finger along this long rod here, which can easily bend. Okay, so after we have taken the water off those tenons, you can put everything back in the case and it will stay safe in there. That is the best way to keep your clarinet when you're not playing. Keep it in the case and then it won't get knocked over by traffic or no accidents will happen. Okay, and then a couple of things to avoid for wooden instruments especially. Make sure to avoid extreme temperature changes because those are bad for wooden instruments. They can cause them to crack. And one example of this is if your instrument is cold when you're warming it up before playing, don't start blowing warm air into it until you've warmed up the outside of the clarinet first. So what I mean is take the clarinet and hold it in your hands or hold it close to your body until it doesn't feel cold when you touch it. Because what happens is as you blow warm air into the inside of the clarinet will expand, the inside will expand, and as the instrument is cold on the outside, it will contract. So you have the wood going in two different directions, which is what causes cracking, and that's what we're looking to avoid. Same idea, don't leave your clarinet in extreme temperatures, not outside in the car or next to the heater. And then the final thing is don't leave your clarinet just standing on its end when you're not playing it. So either put it back in its case, swab it out and put it back in its case, Or you can get a clarinet stand like this, which will hold it up and keep it from falling over. Or when you're not playing, just take it apart in the middle, and then you can set it on your chair. And that will keep it out of harm's way from getting knocked off the chair by passersby. All right, that's it for this tutorial. I hope that was really helpful to you, and if you are enjoying these videos, make sure to encourage other members in your ensemble to join MusicMastery.band so that everyone in your section will have their parts mastered for every rehearsal and be able to see tutorials like these. Remember, you get 3 requests per month as a member. We are really looking forward to helping you master your next piece of music.